I never thought I would say this. I never actually thought I would say this. But Skip Bayless may not be the worst analyst in sports media. I think this guy's slowly over the last couple of years taking the crown. I think Stephen A. Smith is slowly taking the crown. He really has. Like, Stephen A. Smith, it's just been a weird it's been a weird last while for Stephen A. Smith. Initially, like, first of all, I mean, let's be real, he's on everything on ESPN. There is no harder worker in all of sports media than this guy right here. I just want to put that out there. Because unlike this guy right here, I'm not going to criticize a person's character for no reason. I'm not going to criticize his character, but I'm going to criticize what he's saying and how much of a just negative it is for the fact that he's viewed by so many millions of people. The fact is that the guy I initially, obviously, watching First Take, watching him and Skip Bayless, I actually enjoyed that show because I thought it was kind of a thing where it was like everyone knew, neither of them knew what they were talking about, and they were just spouting nonsense at each other. But now it's actually gotten to the stage where, like, I'm literally seeing people parroting Stephen A. Smith like he's some sort of has some sort of knowledge about anything. Not the fact that he isn't just an extremely entertaining person. Like, first of all, some of the things that I always used to annoy me was the whole him constantly calling NBA players scrubs. Like, no NBA player is a scrub. Let's be real. There are bad NBA players for NBA players, but every one of those NBA players could give both me and him 100 points. There is no such thing as a scrub that is in the NBA. And anyone in the comment section that tries to argue that not only has never played an NBA player, has never even played against anyone that played at NCAA Division 1. Because, I mean, throughout my years, I've guarded a lot of guys that play D1, whether it be in pickup, whether it be in college games, whether it be in, like, some preseason friendlies. I picked up a lot of guys that have played D1 in the States, and my God, they've all cooked me. And in the NBA, guys, would have cooked all of these D1 guys. But it is what it is. The fact that he consistently makes fun of foreign names is just something. It's not like the biggest deal in the world. It's just something that rubs me a little bit the wrong way. It is something that rubs me a little bit the wrong way. The Rasho Nesterovic, Tiago Splitter, like, just making fun of them like they weren't starting centers on championship winning teams. Like, they weren't, not only NBA players, weren't decent NBA players. And the fact is so many of the bad NBA players aren't remembered, but Stephen A. Smith will make sure you remember Rasho Nesterovic and Tiago Splitter. Why? Because he likes saying their names. They were good NBA players. He doesn't give a damn about that kid from Europe, despite the fact that he had never watched Luka Doncic play. Kristaps Porzingis when he was drafted, another example. And then obviously the Nigerian names and the fact that a Japanese person who needs an interpreter cannot be the face of basketball, but it is what it is. Then obviously now Max Kellerman's going, and I mean, I don't particularly like Max Kellerman. He's sometimes a voice of reason, but I mean, he's got the I want Iguodala take. Max Kellerman talks a lot of nonsense as well. But, like, what Stephen A. Smith is doing, and I'm not entirely sure if... And what he does that I have the biggest problem with is he consistently takes shots at people's character. And this isn't sports. Like, he's talking here, fair to blame for the fallout. Where the hell was Steph Curry? Do you know where the hell Steph Curry was? At home. He was injured and didn't play the damn game. And then as soon as they got back to Oakland, he had meetings with all the players. He had a meeting with Draymond. He had a meeting with KD. He sat between them. He was the mediator in trying to fix it. That's where Steph Curry was. This whole article was Draymond and KD. Not the whole interview. That specific part of the interview was Draymond and KD looking to blame somebody for why KD left. When in reality, KD left. In fairness, Steph Curry did maybe have a little bit of a reason for KD leaving. But it's because Steph Curry was more loved than KD. Draymond has been blamed by a lot of people. Draymond just wanted KD to say that it wasn't his fault. So they blamed the management. KD blamed the management, Draymond blamed the management. They looked for a scapegoat. When in reality, Draymond had nothing to do with it. Draymond was in the wrong for that fight. They probably made up. I'm almost certain they have. But Draymond was in the wrong for that fight. No question about it. And the reason why KD left, KD was gone before that. KD left because he said it throughout the interview. He's looking for peace. And he was never going to get peace at Golden State because it was always going to be he joined a super team. He thought that winning the ring would give him peace, and it didn't. And a big, big reason. Do you want to know, funnily enough, who's more to blame than Draymond, than Steph Curry? Stephen A. Smith himself. All those consistent rants about KD. All those rants about Kevin Durant. That has more of an impact on Kevin Durant leaving Golden State than anything anyone at Golden State in the Golden State organization did. Because all that the Golden State did was realistically win pretty much every game that mattered that KD played in. KD did not lose a game that really mattered. They won 2 rings. They lost, what was it, 2 games when they were 2-0 up against the Clippers in the first round? Before KD got injured? Heck, KD played a few minutes in game 5 and they won that game. Literally did not lose a game that mattered for 3 years. But KD left. It was nothing to do with Golden State. It was a lot to do with this guy right here. He was a big reason for it. But again, I'm not going to blame him because again, he has the right to say what he wants. But again, unlike a lot of people when they attack sports players, he goes for the character. He goes for the character. And that's what I don't like about Stephen A. Smith. He will go for the character of somebody before he goes for what they've done on the sports field. An NBA player has a bad game. He looks to take a shot at their mentality, at something about them. He looks for a shot. Again, Steph Curry, you're meant to be the leader. A leader doesn't do this. Taking a shot at Steph Curry's character. When in reality, Steph Curry did all he could. Steph Curry did all he could. But you're, again, taking a shot. Not even a shot saying, I don't know why, first of all, why are you bringing Steph Curry into this? And why, again, are you taking a shot at the guy's leadership, the guy's character? Because maybe there are situations where you can take a shot at that, but not this. Everything with Stephen A. Smith. And again, if you know anything about the UFC, Joe Rogan had an entire section on the podcast about it. When Conor McGregor broke Cerrone's face after about 5 seconds of the fight. Stephen A. Smith talking about, did Cerrone really want it? He's just soft. He didn't really want it. No, he got his face broken 5 seconds into a fight. If he talked about the fact that he maybe wasn't prepared to fight Conor, that he, maybe just wasn't at the level to compete at the top level, which he probably wasn't. Maybe Conor just was good, which is the way Joe Rogan put it, but in reality, probably, in hindsight, looking back, it probably was more of a case of Cerrone just not being at that level. But no, Stephen A. Smith attacks the character. And that's the problem. And that's what I always try. I'm just a random guy on the internet that talks. I am just literally a random person on the internet that talks. I make barely a penny off this channel. I just do it for a little bit of fun. But unlike most people in sports, Stephen A. Smith literally just attacks the people. He won't attack Kevin Durant. Rather than attacking Kevin Durant, the basketball player, he will call it the weak. He's just weak. He's mentally weak for joining the Golden State Warriors. And that's the type of thing. Even when Mark Cuban went on to First Take after the 2011 finals, he even brought it up to Stephen A. Smith that he's talking about insurmountable pressure and everything. And Mark Cuban was just obviously LeBron didn't play well in those finals. Mark Cuban was just yeah, we threw about 10 different zones at him, threw a bunch of different looks at him, and he started trying to pass and then just kind of flustered himself. There's reasons behind everything, but no, Stephen A. Smith tries to literally, I can't even describe it. He just tries to break down everything in his mind as something goes wrong equals person weak. Something goes right equals person strong. When in reality, there's reasons for everything. There's reasons for people doing well. There's reasons for people doing badly. But this guy right here is I don't want to say that some of the stuff he says is of absolutely no benefit because he's entertaining as hell. He works his ass off. Stephen A. Smith, I assume, is a great person. But the way he's gone the last couple of years especially, there's been a few things throughout the years where I just didn't like it, but now it's happening every couple of weeks that he is saying something and you're just like, considering like millions of people watch him every day. There are probably at least 50% of people that watch this that then came away that Steph Curry did nothing and it's actually Steph Curry's fault why the Golden State Warriors fell apart. When in reality, Steph wasn't there. He did what he could to help. And Stephen A. Smith just needed a Google search and he would never have talked about this. Again, there are so many situations that can be just solved by this guy with a Google search. And again, there are probably people worse than him. But again, we all know Skip Bayless is a troll at this stage. And for other people, maybe they're just not as big as Stephen A. Smith. And again, the guy deserves every cent because people watch him. At the end of the day, he gets impressions. He deserves every cent that he makes. Doesn't mean I gotta like him. And doesn't mean that it's just so much of this BS has been happening over the last year that I have to make this video. But yeah, that's pretty much it, lads. So, according to Stephen A. Smith, the reason for for KD leaving and appears to be Steph Curry. What? There's a reason why Draymond and KD didn't even go as far as to mention Steph Curry. Because he had no impact on it. And if he did have an impact, which in reality he actually probably did have an impact on KD leaving, his impact was the fact that Steph Curry was the face of the Warriors and the fans were never going to love KD like they love Steph. If you're looking for a reason to blame Steph for KD leaving, that's the reason. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.